The work has been done and the buzz is gone, baby, I'm on my way to you. Friday night, I missed your embrace of the lonely days, there are so many kisses due. Friday night.
Welcome to Friday Night Fun. I am Inanna, the real one, and I'm glad that you are here to spend some time with me. Please say hi in the live chat. Let me know how you are doing. I really love this Friday night date night where we can come and spend time together, get to know each other, and ultimately get to know ourselves through the awakening process. Get to know the world that we are in and all of the truths that have been hidden from us. In a way, the powers that be, by hiding knowledge from you and me, they make themselves elite because they know things that the masses don't. And after all, knowledge is power. The reason that we allow our children to be mutilated and injected with toxins and we feed them poisons is only because we are ignorant, because we are asleep, we are deceived about the world that we live in. So I always encourage people to question what they were taught and stop doing things that turn them into clowns. Purify yourself. Your body will heal itself as it was designed to do, and you don't need any vaccines or anything else. Just purify your diet, purify what you put into your body, and your body will fight off all diseases. Pretty exciting times that we live in where things are being revealed to us. How many of our ancestors died thinking that they lived on a giant spinning ball or that they evolved from pond scum? Now we're finding all of these truths that have been hidden from us, and we're coming out of this age of darkness and ignorance and into an age of light, a golden age where things are right. These cycles that we experience, going from a Garden of Eden, the fall into darkness, and then ultimately the rise again in the golden age, this cycle is repeated. This is not the same, or this is not the only time that we have been through this cycle, not the only time that we have been in this world, played this game. The next time that you die will probably not be the first time that you die. Most of our souls have been around for a very long time. My soul, I know for sure, is older than dirt, and I have played this game countless times, so I know that I have died many times before, and knowing that makes me a whole lot more courageous rather than the people out there that are living in fear, that don't realize that they're a soul, that they will continue on after death, and people that think that there is nothing after this life. Thankfully, I have always known that there is a spiritual world, that there is life after this world, that there's a creator, but it is sad for those that don't, people that live their life in complete ignorance, and thankfully we live in this time where the ignorance is going away and the truth is being revealed to us. Apocalypse, the revealing of truth. I know full well that the truth of the reality that we currently live in, this world that we are living in, is very dark. There are evil entities that are running our world that are not fully human, that farm human, that have enslaved us, that have, promoted countless amounts of hoaxes and tricks, jokes played on humans, turning humans into clowns. It can be a negative experience to wake up in this reality, But ultimately, the truth sets us free, and knowing the truth about our enemy will help us navigate this world that we are in and ultimately survive. I am here to survive the tribulation, to get into the golden age. I don't know about you. So if you are, like me, here to survive, knowing our enemy is very important. Many people have been tricked into thinking that they want to be raptured out of here, that this world is evil, that I don't know, that heaven is a way better place, and in many cases, I would definitely agree. I mean, heaven is pure. We're not surrounded by degeneracy there. But, like I said in my last video, if all of the souls who came here to make the world a better place just decided to stop coming here to make the world a better place and just stay up there, then the world is going to continue to become more dark and more corrupt. I don't know about you, but I don't want this world to cease existing. I think that this realm that we are experiencing life in is amazing and has definitely not only taught us many lessons, but also brought us joy and love and babies and just a lot of things that we can do in here that we don't do outside of this realm. We don't have sex outside of this realm. We don't interact with physical matter. We don't have to eat out there. Well, not like we have to eat so much in here. Anyways, going without food can actually be a great way to help your body heal. Easier said than done. But if you have illnesses, you're putting poisons in constantly, your body has to deal with that before they can even touch the other illnesses. So if you stop putting poisons in for a while, stop putting anything in, then your body can focus on the other issues that you have and heal you. Going raw vegan and just putting pure things in, juicing and fasting are great ways to help cure yourself. I'm really into natural methods of healing and things that don't turn humans into clowns. Things that I could, sit down with my future child and tell them to do, right? And why I said that is because what popped into my mind was urine therapy. People drinking their own pee. I don't know about you, but I cannot ever imagine myself in a situation where I would sit down with my future child and actually tell my child to drink their urine. I would be horrified if I walked into the bathroom and saw my kid drinking out of the toilet, okay? And there are people out there that are okay with urine therapy for not only themselves, but also their children. I don't know. I can't promote anything to you. I can't, justify anything, any behaviors for any of us that I wouldn't justify or accept for my own child. So anything that's corrupting, anything that's going to make them a clown, I'm not going to promote that to you because I wouldn't promote it to my own kid. I don't want to live in a world full of people doing things that I wouldn't want my child doing. So I don't promote drinking urine or any sort of bodily fluids going back into your mouth. I'm also a Virgo, so these things are I want things to be clean and putting urine in my mouth makes me just the thought makes me want to puke. I don't know. I can never go through with it. But anyways, I'm going to shift around my chair here and get ready to answer some questions. And I will catch up with you in just a minute. So like I said earlier, I wanted to make a video and answer some questions so that you can get to know me. And I would love if you would answer the questions in the live chat so that I could get to know you as well. These Friday night date experiences can not only be fun and informative, but they can serve to deepen our relationship, to help us get to know one another, and to help us get to know ourselves. If you are watching this at a later time, you can still answer the questions in the comment section. I would love to get to know you, even though our schedules aren't jiving yet. Without further ado, number 1, what is your background? Well, I was born and raised in Ohio. My mom and dad are still together. I have an older sister who is married with kids. Then there's me. Then I have technically 3 younger brothers, but the oldest of them passed away from SIDS when I was about 3. He died on April Fool's Day, so we never celebrated April Fool's Day, and I grew up with a mother who would be, mourning the loss of her child every year, not only on his birthday, but also on the day that he passed away. So that was really hard, and, I wanted to take her pain away and do whatever I can to make sure that I don't have to feel that pain from my own future children as well. From my research, vaccines are related to SIDS as well as other diseases, and also drinking cow's milk. Cow's milk is for baby cows. They're the only ones who should be consuming it. And when human children drink cow's milk, developmental problems can occur. They can get diabetes, autism, osteoporosis, and SIDS. We were always pretty close to my mom's side of the family. She comes from a family of 7 brothers and sisters, and almost all of them have children. So it's a very big family, and we, would growing up always have family holidays and be at our grandma's house, get babysat by our aunts and uncles, playing with our cousins, all of this fun stuff. So I have a lot of great memories and very, very close to my family growing up. When I would have basketball games or other sports events, I would have my own cheering section because my grandma would always say, "I'll be there with bells on." I'm like, "Are you actually going to wear bells, or are you just saying that?" She would be in there, my grandpa, my mom and dad, my brothers, my uncles, my aunts, just a huge cheering section. So I have a lot of great memories that are linked with my family. And my family is, practicing Christians, they would say. I don't know about practicing part, but they would call themselves Christians. They believe, Jesus died for people's sins and all the stuff that you get taught by mega church pastors. And yeah, so obviously, my path in awakening and straying away from that, I'm like the odd one out. But I'm not really sure that, every family member is convinced of that lifestyle, the Christian mainstream way, at least. I definitely had my doubts when I was in that religion, and now the things that I believe make a lot more sense to me and help me become who I am today. So I am thankful for that. Since I grew up in this religious household, I would go to church on Sundays and also went to a Christian school. I attended 2 different schools. One was from preschool to 5th grade, and then the other one was 6th grade to 12th, which is when you graduate. And I am thankful for that experience, even though it was far from perfect, and there were many rough obstacles that had to be overcome. I'm glad that I was in that shelter, if you will, not being around all of the stuff that is in public schools usually. We were very, very sheltered, and yeah, I have a lot of good memories, especially playing sports and going to sporting events and all of that. So lots of good memories from school, but I wouldn't send my child to that school. Well, I wouldn't send my child to any school, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going to homeschool my own kids. Then I actually also went to college for only 1 year. I'm very thankful that I dropped out. School didn't really jive with me to begin with. I was like, a lot of the things I didn't even, history class, for example. I knew in my soul that what I was being taught was not true. The winners write history books and all of this. So I wasn't fully just connecting onto this information that I was being taught. I was always questioning these things. So schooling for me was not really like the most exciting time. I love to learn, but being in that environment does not encourage learning. It's basically just repeat what the teacher says and stay in line, and just not my thing. So really, I shouldn't have gone to college at all, but I did. And I was on track to study nursing, which is, what my mom does, what my grandma does. Anatomy and physiology comes really naturally to me, so that is where I was going. Being like a children's nurse, pediatrician type field would have been my ultimate goal because I love kids. But I wouldn't want to deal with abortions, so I would have to be really selective about that. And thank God I didn't go into that field, because now I know way better than what I would have been taught by Big Pharma and their schooling. Now I educate myself. I read my own books of natural healing and do my own research, and am my own doctor. The other thing that I was into growing up for a future career was actually like wanting to be a teacher and wanting to essentially get up with my kids and go to school with them and teach them and then come home. I'm like, why don't I just cut out the middleman and stay home and teach them here and not have to worry about any curriculum or anything from any other school? If you go to get into a teaching position in a school, you're going to have to teach what they tell you to teach, and ultimately I wouldn't be able to teach children lies. So I wouldn't be able to teach them that they live on a giant spinning ball. I wouldn't be able to teach them that they evolved from pond scum, or any of these nonsense things like that schools are full of today. So that is what I was thinking about for a career option, but I was never really fully, dedicated to wanting to do that. The only thing that I've ever really on a soul level wanted was to be a mom. Like, I don't want to chase money and climb corporate ladders. Like, I want to be a mom. And that's what my natural instinct and desire is. So that is ultimately why I fight to make the world a better place, because I want to make a baby and have this place be safe for that baby. All right, moving on to number 2. How did you wake up? Well, I was actually in my friend Lucas's basement in 2015. His office is down there. And I was at a place in my life where I wanted to believe things because I believe them, not because other people told me to believe them. So I was questioning everything, basically. I wanted to start with a blank slate. The verse in the Bible that talks about, coming like a child. A child doesn't have these preconceived notions, and it's like a chalkboard that hasn't been written on. But after a while of writing and dusting off your chalk, the chalkboard is not clean anymore, obviously. I really hate chalkboards. That makes me have the chills to think about that. So anyways, I started to read the gospel for myself and start to study the Torah, the first books of the Bible, and the law that it is talking about, the Christ following this law. And if I am a follower of him, then I follow the law too, right? I do the things that he does. I take up my cross. And so these are the things that I I want in myself, and I'm seeking for all of the answers. So it's been a journey ever since then. I immediately woke up to flat earth. It was like a very easy truth for me to accept. We've been through this before, and flat earth is like common sense. It's like the one thing that does make sense. And in school, one thing that was very useful was in art. Our teacher taught us how to make perspective drawings and put the vanishing point there, and basically described how things will move in a direction towards this vanishing point, and that just means that you can't see any farther. So knowing that and then finding flat earth truth, everything just clicked in my mind and made a lot of sense. I accepted it overnight and moved on to where I am now. Always my awakening has been very spiritually focused, trying to find the purpose for why my soul is here and how I can make this world into a dream world rather than what it is. It's been very exciting to awaken not only to the truths about the outside world, right, but also to the truths about myself, finding out who I am, finding out more about the soul that's inside and the things that I have been through, my interactions with this realm and those that are in it, and knowing that I came here for this purpose, and I have the strength inside to change the world and to make it a golden age once more. It's really exciting. So that is essentially the story of how I started to awaken. It's a process. It's not just something that happens all at once. And I found that many things, when I started to awaken, I was in, the mainstream religion. So the people whose videos that I was watching were telling me, the truths from their perspective in how it fit in with their religion, rather than an unbiased, not attached to any one thing. And that has been another thing over time, where I started out, thinking that the Bible was the infallible word of God. And over time, I have come to a point where I trust the connection that I have with my Creator, that I know that what his will is. It's very simple. It's what any good father would want for their child, right? You want what's best for them, essentially. You want them to be the best version of themselves possible, to live in a world where they are built up and taken care of and encouraged to be the best them possible, rather than the clown show where humans are choosing degeneracy and making our Heavenly Father, ashamed of us. What creator would look on this creation as it is and be proud of it when there are so many evils that are promoted and defended and such? Your creation is acting like clowns. Are you really proud of that? No, you can be proud of your creation when it actually, steps up and stands against this darkness, these forces of darkness, and purifies themselves, becomes better, and creates a better world. That is what our Creator wants for us. Our Creator wants us to be better. There are forces at work against us to keep us from becoming that. So remembering where we are, the enemy and his tactics, and knowing that we're surrounded by these satanic flesh puppets that want to keep us asleep. They want to keep us away from our true destiny, to keep us deceived, to use us like little playthings and turn humans into clowns. It is all too often the case when you're on Facebook that you are dealing with an army of inverted ones that are swarming you if you are a real human. That's what they like to do. They want us to, keep us from connecting to each other and only be able to connect with them. One of the great things about my full moon celebrations is that you can actually physically come out and meet me and eat my delicious vegan food and actually feel my energy and get to know me on an actual personal level, to put, two faces, two energies to the conversations that we have had before. Unlike, many other, I don't know of any other so-called leader in the truther community that has hosted their own events where they themselves go out and buy all of the products. They come home, they themselves actually make all of these items, and they themselves take it to the spot, set it up, actually cook for people, and do it all for free. It is a lot of work, but it is necessary for the creation of the golden age, and that is why my soul came here. I know that there are forces at work against me that want to make me discouraged, that want to send provocateurs out to my events to cause issues, and everything else that they can do to get me to stop fighting for the golden age, because they know that if they can get me to stop, then they will win. It's as simple as that. So that was a long story long for how did I wake up. It's still a process. I wanted to actually mention before the things that I learned, were evil in the Christian circle, and finding their true meanings and, reclaiming those things for good. The swastika, for instance, was created by our creator in the stars, right? Evil entities can come along and try to steal that and use it for evil, but that doesn't mean that the symbol is evil, because it was created by our creator. They try to use the rainbow or variation of the rainbow as well. They use these symbols, these signs that our creator created or that even existed before that, and try to say that they're evil, but the sign can ultimately be used for good or evil. It is, your intent is the most important and powerful aspect of anything that you are doing, and these signs and symbols can be used for good or evil. So they don't teach that, in the so-called Christian circles. But I am always looking for more truths, and when I find things that can be beneficial for my life, what comes to mind is natural healings with mudras, hand gestures, putting different fingers together and making hand symbols to help with different issues that you're having. For instance, menstrual cramps. That is, the one thing that unfortunately sucks about being a girl, is having that time of the month. But when I'm not pure and not being raw vegan, then, that's when I run into issues with that. And our society has brainwashed us all to believe that we need to bleed every month to be healthy. And I assure you that is not the case. We're not supposed to just be hemorrhaging blood from anywhere. It's not natural. It's not healthy. That's life force energy that's just being drained out. So let's not get too much more into this conversation. Go raw vegan for that. But there are just natural remedies all around us, including just making a symbol with your hand can help. Like, that's not evil. Your intent is always the most important thing. So taking back these symbols and signs and even words and using them for good is something that I find is important. Okay, moving on to number 3. What is your biggest success up till now? Success is obviously defined by different people as different things. Some people think that, having a bunch of diplomas and degrees is what is important. Other people will say, having a nice house and a car is important, or, successful. Whatever their definition of successful is, having a nice family, whatever. But I think that what being successful should be graded on in this, when I'm judging this question, is how successful are you at doing what your soul actually came here to do. Your soul didn't come here to sit in a classroom and just regurgitate back information so that you could get a piece of paper to make paper, right? To make money. Your soul came here for a better purpose, and finding that purpose, realizing that there's a purpose and finding it, that's the first step in the journey, right? And well, now where I am, I know why my soul came here, and I have been doing full moon celebrations for years now, and every year they keep getting better. I am on my second YouTube channel, but on my first one, I had over 2,000 public subscribers. It was revealed to me through those that reveal things that I actually have over 10,000 followers worldwide on various platforms. So obviously, I find that is success because I am reaching the ends of the earth with my message, and that is what my soul came here to do. My soul literally came here to make videos, to talk to you, to try to get you to remember why you came here, and to stand beside me in battle once more against these forces of darkness. There are timelines when we don't even need a very large army to succeed at what we are trying to do. The will of a few can overpower the will of the many, especially when the many are fluoridated zombies and deceived and confused, and some even fighting for the satanic new world order. Willpower, at the end of the day, is the most powerful thing, and with willpower, a very small army can defeat a very large army. So my biggest success up until now is, being able to spread my message to the ends of the earth, having the Shasta Patriot Alliance, having really popular transvestigation groups on Facebook where I'm able to use those platforms to speak the truth about our reality and allow all of the other humans to find me and connect with me so that we can once again stand together in battle. Obviously, whether or not people like me or I even like them, it's at the end of the day, if we are humans, we're all on the same team, right? We have to stand together to fight against our anti-human, non-human enemy. These entities that are ruling our world, that are farming humans, that are crushing us down, that are making us live in this hell on earth. Well, making us live, well, they are, but we also, by farming the animals, we consent to it. So it's kind of we're doing it to ourselves. If we would stop doing evil and we would actually stand up and fight back, then things would be different. But anyways, kind of have to step back and see things and how this world is from a bigger perspective rather than just a human perspective. A lot of times the human perspective is very limiting, and you're oh my gosh, reptilians and Nakash are evil just because they, Nakash are obligate carnivores and they eat humans. But if you step back, it's okay, well, humans also eat other species. So if you want to pretend you're in this circle of life where everything, eats each other, well then, how are you going to object to something bigger and better coming along and eating you? That's just how that whole process, chain of thought works, right? So, yeah, once we change what we do, we don't consent anymore to being farmed by our actions, then the world will change and it will become a golden age. My biggest success is promoting the golden age and connecting with all of my friends and family worldwide. Promoting the golden age. Okay, number 4. What brought you to Mount Shasta? Why are you where you are? I personally am at the meeting place of heaven and earth because when I started to awaken to the fact that I chose to come here, realizing what I actually chose to come here for, and realizing where I needed to be to do what I came here to do, right? The meeting place of heaven and earth is where the golden age starts, but it's also where the battle starts, where the battle is won. And then the golden age begins from here. I've said so many times before that the root of your tree, of your plant, whatever, is going to affect the rest of the tree or plant, right? So if the root is pure and really healthy, then the rest of the tree is going to be really healthy. And you can see earth as the same way. If the root chakra is full of corruption, then the rest of the world is going to be getting polluted from that. But if we purify the root, if we get to the root of the problem, then we can actually see real change in our world. So even if you can't physically get here yet, you can always do, meditations and try to connect and promote purification towards Mount Shasta and connect with her. But if you are able to make the journey here, if your soul came here to fight this battle, eventually you will need to come to Mount Shasta, and I definitely look forward to connecting with you there. Like I was saying before, it's really awesome to get to host these full moon celebrations. I get to meet people that I have been talking to online and hang out under the stars, under the full moon, playing guitar, having this beautiful fire, and having a great time. So I hope that you can come out to one of my future events. June 24th, the Battle of Bunny Flats is only a few months away, and if you are coming, if you are able to come before then, please let me know either here on YouTube, on Facebook, comment here, or send me an email at inanasnow@hotmail.com and get in touch with me to let me know that you are coming. I could use your help before the event and would love to chat with you. So that is that. Mount Shasta is getting purified, and anyone who has watched this, they say all the world's a stage, we are taking our part in what is being watched by many. Kind of like the Truman Show, but in real life. And we've done this before. Those who have watched and observed, those who are my enemies, like Satan, know when Inanna comes in, what she does and where she comes to. Okay, so this is something that my soul came in here to do, to come to Mount Shasta, to make these videos with you, connecting with you, and to stand against these forces of darkness once more and create a beautiful golden age. Woo! It's really exciting. The meeting place of heaven and earth should be like the most pure place, just exploding with vegan restaurants, raw vegan, no animal enslaved in sight, just an area of pure humans, real humans seeking to do their creator's will. We want to protect ourselves and our children, our innocence. We don't want to be in a world of degenerates and confusion and broken clowns. So we have to come to the root to fix the problem, and that is why I am at Mount Shasta and why many of you will be here in the future. And finally, number 5. What future do you want to see? It's a pretty broad answer just to say the golden age, and obviously there are many different facets that go with the golden age and how to create this world into an actual paradise for humans. But that's been my constant message for years now, is the golden age, and what motivates me to do what I do, to keep making new accounts and getting back online and making videos, editing videos, and putting them out for you so that we can connect together. Doing all of this stuff is ultimately to move towards the golden age. That's why I do everything that I do. And I will use the tools at my disposal to be able to do what I need to do to get where I need to be, where I came here to be. So no matter if I'm, dancing around in my underwear or hiking to a waterfall and getting naked, it's like these things ultimately I am doing for the golden age to get to where I am trying to go. I've said many times before, you got to lead with the hips because hips don't lie. So that's obviously another reason why I dance around in my underwear and go to waterfalls, right? You have to know at a soul level that I am a real girl. You have to know in your soul who I am. And when you start to remember who you are, remember who I am, that is when we become this terrifying force that they are afraid of. They want to stop us from connecting so that we don't achieve what we came here for. So that they, by default, get their satanic, anti-human new world order. And none of us want to live in that. Those people that are, that go along with the agendas that the satanic scum push, even people that are more left-leaning that would say a better world would be where we have inverted pride and LGBTQ PBR praised everywhere, right? That's what the New World Order is. Those humans are deceived, and ultimately they are very confused if they think that they're going to be happy in that New World Order, because even if you agree with their stuff, it's still a very anti-human environment. They're going to be crushing us down, taking away more freedoms, and doing whatever they can to make this world hell on earth so that souls will not want to come here again, so that they can basically make this world so dark that no light souls want to come in and make it light. If they can chase all of us light souls off, then they can have their world of darkness and potentially get this world to completely end. So, the future that I want to see is a very bright golden age where humans and animals are free to live as our Creator intended us to be, where you can live out your dreams and the truth is known, where we're not being sprayed like bugs and you have the things that you need to survive. You don't have to worry about survival. This earth takes care of us if we take care of her. And once we get the right people in positions of power, then things will actually start to change. And voting for the clowns on your television is never going to change it because they're all inverted puppets. Every once in a while, they give us fake heroes like JFK, some people think as a hero, and they were involved with promoting the space deception. Other people think Ronald Reagan is a hero, but that clown signed the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act protecting vaccine companies from being attacked by people whose children have been hurt by them. That is not a hero, no matter what else they did. That alone, you're off my hero list forever, buddy. That makes me angry. It's an injustice. Then the latest hero is dickless Donald Trump, who was supposed to be inaugurated on the 4th, right? Did that happen? Or is there just another, still wait and trust the plan thing coming out, They give us these heroes to pacify us, to get us to stop fighting for what we came here for. None of those people, well, they're not even really people, they're hybrids. None of those inverted hybrid deceivers are ever going to save us. So please stop putting your faith in them and start putting your faith in real humans, in a real girl who is willing to fight, kill, and die to change this world.
Calling is coming, grab your guns. Stack cash funds, fathers teach your sons. When politicians talk, assume they're lying. And living on your knees, much worse than dying. is coming. Grab your guns, stack cash funds, teach your sons. When politicians talk, assume they're lying. Living on your knees, must push the diet.
Just like this, 7 rounds, or he needs to be